Hey everyone, this is Paul McManus, the CEO of Million Dollar Producer Division of More Clients, More Fun, and I am here today with a very special guest, Alex Sonkin. Alex is the founder of the Virtual Family Office Hub, and he is our second guest on the Million Dollar Producer Show. Welcome, Alex.
Thanks, Paul, for having me. I can't believe I'm the second guest, but that's a tremendous
there you
honor.
go.
It's a tremendous honor. I appreciate it, my friend.
Now, Alex, you do something I think that's truly unique in the marketplace. You specialize in helping CPAs. What are the challenges that CPAs are having today?
First of all, we love CPAs, and a lot of our clients call us a champion of CPAs because what CPAs are doing, the challenges that they're facing are immense. Their clients expect them to be able to do all these things. They're stretched so far. They're expected to be on top of a 90,000 plus page tax code. Tax laws are changing deep into December, and they need to do tax planning in a couple weeks, with new laws being passed. It's very, very difficult to be a CPA, and CPAs are losing some of their best clients because there are so much change going on in the profession. And some of these ultra high net worth clients, they want more, they need more, and CPAs are just stretched too thin to be able to provide this value to their very, very best clients, and they are losing those best clients. And so we created the Virtual Family Office Hub really to address that need. And to position CPAs in a way that they can address the needs of these ultra high net worth clients, deliver more value to them in the form of income tax mitigation, cost mitigation, just overall planning, getting their arms around all the moving parts, and acting as the true, most trusted advisor that these ultra high net worth business owners need and want in their lives. And so the Virtual Family Office Hub is a strategic partner to elite CPAs and family offices, providing strategic leverage so that they can access the very best resources in the world that no longer want to be W-2 employees for a Deloitte or a Goldman or big boxy firms. We found that the very best resources in the world have left those firms because of technology and want to live in Aspen or Boulder or San Diego or Florida, wherever they want to live, New York. And so if you're an ultra affluent business owner, and you may not have access to a CPA that has access to those resources, but because of technology, we can take a CPA, plug them into the Virtual Family Office Hub, and now they can bring best-in-class resources to their clients who are, maybe they have local clients, or they may have clients all around the world. Because of technology, we can make that happen for them.
Help me understand, what is a family office? So this is a term that maybe not everyone's familiar with, and of course you have the Virtual Family Office. What is a traditional family office, and what is the Virtual Family Office? How are those different? How are those the same? How are those different?
It's a great question. So most people don't know what a family office is because they don't have $50 million liquid just laying around. And if you did, well, you would be approached by a family office and they would tell you, hey, look, we will give you one point of contact. We will provide you everything you need. We have CPA, attorney, financial advisors. We'll manage your money. We're going to charge you 1 point, maybe 2 points on that 50 million, 100 million, billions of dollars of liquid money that you have. We'll write checks for you. We'll do whatever you need. You make one phone call and we will take care of that for you. So that's a traditional family office, which really has served billion-dollar families worth hundreds of millions of dollars who've had liquidity events and all of a sudden now have this liquidity that they want to put to work, have a lot of moving parts, a lot of complexity, a lot of trust, a lot of planning, and they want to grab their arms around all of that. And so what's happened is you have this new money coming in. You have these new business owners that maybe are worth 10, 25, 50, 100 million, $150 million, but they don't have 50 million liquid. Maybe they have 5 million liquid and their other assets are primarily their business or real estate portfolio. Those clients don't even know what a family office is.
Right.
And they are essentially acting as their own family office professional. They're their own virtual family office professional, except they have no training to do it. They don't understand all the moving parts. They don't understand what CPAs do and attorneys do and financial advisors do. They're not professionals.
Right.
They're professionals at managing their family, they're professionals at running their business, and now they're thrown into this place where they're managing their CPA, managing their advisor. They have a problem, they make 7 different phone calls, they get 7 different answers, they have no idea how to deal with this information because their network of resources is not trained to act as a team.
Right.
It's like a loose affiliation. Let's play some pickleball on Sundays together. And then when there's stress in that situation, it all falls apart. And guess who loses? This high net worth business owner. And so what a virtual family office is.
Well, and before you go in there,
yeah.
So one question I want to add or ask about that is, so for the CPAs that you serve, or the CPAs that should be coming into the VFO hub, what is their biggest challenge when it comes to retaining those clients?
So with the CPA profession, CPAs are dealing with so many issues, and they're asked to do so much. They're doing tax returns, and they're charging $500, $1,000 for a tax return. They have high-end clients that have a lot of moving parts, and maybe they're charging them $10,000, $15,000 to do their work. And some of them have 500 clients, 1,500 clients. And so they're asked to handle, to be on top of a 90,000 plus page tax code that's constantly growing.
Right.
The tax code is constantly changing. So they need to be able to handle the whole tax code, prepare tax returns, financial statements, stay on top of so many deadlines throughout the year. Essentially, they can't do the work that they're asked to do, and their clients expect them to do and expect them to be on top of everything, and it's impossible.
Yeah.
And so what we're saying is, you know what? The profession is changing. Technology is changing. Forget your small clients. Forget your BNC clients, because those clients are going to be served by technology. They're going to use software. They're going to use artificial intelligence. They're not going to need you to handle their tax return because it's too simple for you to even deal with. So you're already seeing price pressure on a tax return. Some people are charging $1,500, $1,000, $500. Well, guess what? H&R Block online offers a free federal and state tax return. Mm-hmm. So that's the value of a tax return. It's free. So if you're trying to charge $500 or $1,000 or $1,500, eventually you're not going to be able to do that. So that's not where you want to build your practice, because you're competing with technology. Right. You want to build your practice on the other end of the scale with these high net worth business owners that have a lot of moving parts, a lot of needs. They're not going to use a software system. They're going to need a most trusted advisor. So who should be their most trusted advisor? Should it be their financial advisor? Should it be their attorney? Should it be their CPA? Should it be their investment banker? We believe it should be their CPA. And so what we've done, unlike Wall Street that's built infrastructure, investment banking infrastructure underneath a stockbroker, okay, which we now, today we know that the stockbroker is not necessarily the most trusted advisor in the world for a million different reasons. So we're building a virtual family office with best-in-class resources focused on income tax mitigation, estate planning, cost mitigation, and overall gathering all of the resources on one platform with one point of contact. We believe the CPA needs to evolve into this virtual family office professional and bring best-in-class resources, not just, because a traditional family office just has a bunch of W-2 people inside of there, right? And we already know that the best people in the world don't want to be W-2 people working for a family office, working for Deloitte, working for Goldman Sachs, really working for anyone. Sure. Unless you're W-2, unless your name is LeBron James and you get a W-2 salary, you still are owner of the LeBron James brand, and you're probably going to make a lot more money, owning that business than being a W-2 employee. So what we found is let's organize. We've been organizing for the last 2 decades all of these best-in-class resources, vetting them out through a very careful vetting process. And now we're 4 and 5 deep at every position. And so when we take a CPA and train them through the Virtual Family Office Academy, how to use best practices and how to really operate a virtual family office, best-in-class resources, and package all of this incredible wisdom and deliver it to business owners in the form of income tax mitigation, cost mitigation, planning, proactive ideas, and using strategic leverage, all of a sudden the value that they're able to deliver is off the charts, and they're able to generate very nice fees for delivering this value to this business owner, and they can have a lot less clients, make a lot more money, and create a lot more time and space. And this means that they're going to need to outsource their B and C clients to someone else. And so Virtual Family Office Hub provides outsourcing solutions to the very best outsourced resources, whether it's domestic, international, whether it's bookkeeping, outsourced CFO services, high-end tax planning services can also be outsourced. For some of the CPAs that say, you know what, I just only want to work with 10 families. That's really all I want. Some people say, you know what, I just want to work with 50 business owners and make my money there. All of this is very, very possible today, and that's what the Virtual Family Office Hub does.
It's very possible, and you make this happen for them. I want to dive a little bit deeper, though, into what happens to the CPA if they don't make this change, right? If they're dealing with maybe a few A clients, a bunch of B and C clients. We have people like we have a mutual friend and colleague, Shane, who, is an advisor and is able to, within minutes, let an affluent business owner that he just meets feel the pain that their CPA is not serving them. What is the core problem that the CPA is going to face if they don't start moving in this direction?
Yeah, Shane and I go back a long way. I remember he's visited me in my house, and I've spent a good amount of time with him, and I've shared with him some of the things that we do inside the VFO Hub and some of the issues that CPAs are facing. So he took a little bit of this knowledge. Of course, he's very talented, and that's why he's really part of the VFO Hub himself. But he goes out and meets CPAs, meets unhappy business owners, right, using a LinkedIn strategy that you've perfected, that we really love, by the way, and meets these unhappy business owners in a matter of a couple conversations, moves them from their CPA to one of his CPAs, and does all this amazing planning, delivers all this value to them. And so, and we've seen this a long time. We don't do that. We don't go directly to the end user and move them from their CPA to one of our CPAs. What we do is we're here to champion the CPA. We're here to strengthen the CPA so they don't lose those clients. And it is so easy for them to lose clients, and they're losing clients right now at a faster rate than ever from our vantage point. And what's happening is they're losing clients because they're spread so thin, and their value proposition is not great. When you ask a CPA, what do you do for a living? And you can ask the top CPAs in the country, what do you do for a living? And you know what they'll tell you? They'll say, well, we're a proactive planning CPA firm. Okay, we're a CPA firm, but we do a lot more than that. We bring in all these ideas to the table, or we're a business coach, or we're an advisory firm. All of these answers really don't do it justice. Okay. If you're bringing proactive planning ideas to affluent business owners, you're no longer an accountant. Okay. You're not a CPA. You're not an accountant. You're something else. Do you want to call yourself a financial advisor? That's scary. Those are scary salespeople. CPAs traditionally protect their clients from financial advisors because there is a lot of risk when you bring financial advisors and scary salespeople into the equation. Do you want to call yourself a consultant?
Tell me a little bit more about that. Why is that scary?
It's scary because financial advisors typically sell one or two things, and they come in and they, everything, if you've got a problem and they've got a hammer, well, they're going to use that hammer. Well, what if that problem needs to be solved with a screwdriver or a completely different tool? If that financial advisor doesn't have that tool or doesn't know how to use that tool,
right?
So look, advisors and specialists who are at the top of their profession are useful, but like I said, because their job is to sell product, not necessarily solve problems, that potentially could be a scary situation.
Right.
And so the bottom line is CPAs need access to amazing ideas, the best ideas, and they need to be able to deliver those ideas to their clients without putting their client relationship at risk, without a third-party referral. Because traditionally, if they can't do something in-house, they refer it out to an attorney or a specialist, and if they do a great job, they get all the credit and they get all the referrals. And the CPA took a risk because that guy that referral could have screwed it up. They could have done something really bad or just made a bad impression, and the CPA could lose a client. So the referral structure is really flawed. A lot of risk and not a lot of reward. And so the solution is really strategic leverage.
And it seems like it's a double-edged sword, right? So for the CPA, there's the risk that if they don't refer out, someone else on the outside is going to approach the fluent business owner and create dissatisfaction and be able to move them to their CPA.
Right.
If the traditional CPA does refer to someone, then all the credit goes to that person. So it seems like it's a no-win situation either way.
Right. And what family offices have basically done is they've just recognized that, and they said, listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to just take this ultra high net worth client and we're going to just put a wall around them. And guess what they're going to deal with? They're going to deal with the CEO of that family office. There's going to be a CPA, and an attorney, an advisor. Everyone's going to be in-house. And how do new ideas penetrate those walls, right? Those people are going to protect that client from outside advisors because they're going to just want to protect that asset. They're going to continue. And so how do you bring new ideas into these closed environments? It's exactly what you just asked. It's using the traditional methods of referrals, a collaboration. It just doesn't work. So strategic leverage is really what works. Amazon has figured out how to use strategic leverage to destroy Toys R Us. They're on the path to destroy Walmart. I mean, Walmart is trying to figure out how to compete, whereas 20 years ago, Walmart was really a monopoly in every town and city in the world. I mean, I studied Walmart's business model at Harvard Business Case Study has a whole thing on Walmart, which I studied at University of Michigan Business School. Today, I imagine they're not studying Walmart's business model. They're studying Amazon's business model, which is really what we want to bring to the table. And we want to explain to the world why most CPA firms are operating like Toys R Us, not like Amazon, right? And we know what happened with Toys R Us. Toys R Us was an amazing brand. They were making money. And what happened? Technology changed the playing field, and Toys R Us never changed. And the reason they never changed was because they were continually making money, and they couldn't get out of their own way, and they never, ever addressed the needs of the customer.
Right.
And the customer's experience with Amazon is far better than having to get in a car, go to Toys R Us, and pay a high price for an item that they can click on one button and get it delivered to their house in 12 hours, which is soon to be 1 hour, which is what Amazon's goal is. And so in our model is...
I think once digital printing takes off to the next level, it'll be 2 minutes.
2 minutes. So this is what these ultra high net worth people are experiencing, right? And so they're experiencing Amazon on one end, and then they're experiencing their traditional old CPA firm on the other end. And guess what's going to happen? They want this Amazon experience. They want to be able to, someone worth 10, 50, $75 million wants to text their CPA and say, listen, I am selling my company. I'm selling this piece of real estate. I want to buy this other asset. I need you to help me organize the paperwork. I need you to help me with my lender. If you can provide a lender, that would be great. I want you to help me with the tax mitigation on the sale. And I want you to help bring this overall into my overall estate plan. And done. Text, gone. They want their CPA / virtual family office to have access to a smartphone. Okay, on their smartphone, they have every app in the world. And then basically they want the text back saying, I got it, done, don't worry. Then they basically push a couple buttons, bring in the best in class resource. Essentially, they contact the virtual family office hub because we are the app for these elite CPAs virtual family offices. So they send us this data. My client wants this, 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 and this. We bring in the resources. And we work with that CPA VFO and help them deliver all these solutions to their client. The work is done below the surface. Their client knows work is being done. They can't see it being done until the VFO / CPA brings that work to the surface. And so the CPA VFO has full control over their client. They get to communicate with their client. They get to tell their client an amazingly attractive story about their new business model using strategic leverage, using the same model that Amazon and Uber and Facebook are using to just dominate their marketplaces. And the traditional CPA firms are using the old, outdated Toys R Us model, and that's why they're experiencing this massive change. And the elite CPAs who are seeing this, they're taking advantage of this amazing opportunity. And we are working with these elite CPAs and attracting more and more elite CPAs who see the opportunity and just want to have fun with us to bring massive value into a marketplace where their biggest competitors can't get out of their own way, and they're just simply not serving these ultra high net worth business owners the way they want to be served.
So we've talked a lot about the danger, I would call it, of a CPA not moving in this direction. And ultimately they're going to lose their high net worth clients because another CPA is going to offer this, an advisor is going to offer it. And unless they're providing these solutions, their best clients are at risk. Another key thing that I'd like to go a little bit deeper into is, it's not just, we want to do a defensive strategy not to lose our best clients, but I think the next thing is, how can CPAs proactively actually generate more and more revenue for themselves? And so you've talked about your VFOs are able to generate 5 to 6 figures of additional planning fees. Can you tell us more about what that looks like for your VFO CPAs?
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to create value. We look at 3 different buckets where we're helping CPAs to deliver massive value and be able to generate 5, 6-figure planning fees. Business owners understand value. You provide a business owner value and you get to charge them a fee that's a tiny fraction of that value. Business owners get that, right? So the 3 areas where we see massive opportunity, really the biggest area is income tax mitigation. And we're saying that bring the virtual family office with best-in-class resources concept to not billionaires, okay? Billionaires, a lot of billionaires don't even care about taxes or money. I mean, they're billionaires. They don't really care. But people who are paying tax on $1 million of income, $5 million of income, those people care. And those people may be in a net worth of 10, 25, $50 million net worth, and they care. And so if we could design a plan using over 150 potential strategies that we can combine, and our network of best-in-class resources can combine to really create almost an infinite number of combinations using all these different potential solutions, to design a plan that marries the end user's goals in numerical order. We want their goals 1 through 5. We want to understand the situation. We analyze that inside the hub. We have analysts, facilitators, then we have the specialists. We bring that network in and build a customized solution that may reduce someone's taxes by 60% or more, on a yearly basis. On a sale of a highly appreciated asset, we are helping CPAs and family offices to deliver solutions where, we're mitigating maybe 90% of the tax, eliminating 90% or more of the tax. So when you start doing things like that, you can justify a very, very nice 5 and 6-figure planning fees. And those are just tiny, tiny fractions of the value that's being delivered. Another area is cost mitigation. Business owners are overpaying in health insurance. They're overpaying in 9 different areas where they're just wasting money. And so we have resources that come in and look at all those areas, and they reduce those costs and bring massive value to business owner. Guess what? The CPA /VFO gets to charge a fee for that. The third area is really organizing all the moving parts, right? So let's get the end users, and maybe the CPA VFO has their own favorite advisors. And let's take those end users and favorite advisors, the CPA's favorite advisors, put them on one platform, which is the VFO Hub platform, marry that network of advisors with the best-in-class network of advisors that we've been vetting out for 2 decades, and give the CPA a choice of who's on that platform, and give them that same opportunity to be 4 or 5 deep at every position with our strategic help. And all of a sudden, you can now meet with the client and say, listen, let's have 6 meetings a year or 12 meetings a year. And the meetings are going to last 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Your business is moving, everything is moving, lots of changes. Let's make sure that we understand everything that's happening so that anytime change happens, we can get our arms around it and continually bring these moving parts into the overall strategy of where we're trying to go, where you're trying to go 5 years from now, 10 years from now, based on the values of your family, based on everything that we're seeing. Let's do this with a team. So the business owner has one strategic relationship with this virtual family office professional, and everyone else, including that business owner's favorite advisors, get to be managed by that by that virtual family office professional on one platform.
Mm-hmm.
This creates tremendous confidence and time savings for that business owner. And when you give an affluent business owner time savings and confidence, they will pay for that. Okay, they will pay a huge premium for that. And so there's 3 products: tax mitigation, cost mitigation, and just helping your client gather all those moving parts. CPAs need strategic leverage, strategic relationship in order to help them do all these things. They should not be hiring more W-2 employees into their office to be able to do this. That's going to get them further from this result.
Okay, so we talked about the risk of losing high net worth clients. We talked about how CPAs can significantly help their high net worth clients, as well as start creating additional fees that they're probably not creating now because they're selling value, not time at this point. The third area I'd like to discuss at this point is what are you doing as the VFO to actually help attract new high net worth clients, new affluent business owners? How are you empowering them through LinkedIn per se to actually drive more of the top people, more of their potential A clients to them?
There are a few ways that we do this. I mean, the first way is, before we met you, we still had some ways, and we're going to get into the LinkedIn strategy that I'm just so excited about. But the first way is, let's first deliver value. First let's outsource. Let's get rid of the heavyweight. These B and C clients that are dragging you, you can monetize them. You can outsource them to a great solution where they can get amazing service. And you can keep charging your fees, but let someone else do the work, and you can just generate a profit center and create time and space so you can address the need of your big clients.
Yeah.
When you deliver value to those big clients and you give them an amazing story to tell, and you tell them, look, I've made an important decision. I've made this important decision to plug into a network, not just the best local resource, the best resources in the world and the country, and we have access to all of them now from one point of contact. And all of a sudden that CPA now delivers a tax mitigation solution or cost mitigation solution where you add to the bottom line of that business owner. The combination of that experience, that story, and the impact on their bottom line, those 3 things together are going to compel that affluent business owner to brag about
Sure. Absolutely.
And that's the best way to generate growth. You want your very best clients bragging about you at the country clubs, dinner parties that they belong to their partners, because guess what? Their network does not have this experience. They want this experience, and some of them may never even heard of what a family office is. You should be the first one to tell them the virtual family office story. That's number 1. Number two, LinkedIn. Oh my goodness. Pretty much, I think you and I both agree, Paul, that most affluent business owners are on LinkedIn. Okay, they're on LinkedIn. Most affluent.
Well, there's a specific statistic. 41% of millionaires are active on LinkedIn. So,
and that's a statistic. It might be higher, right? We're not even sure. But basically, LinkedIn is the ultimate B2B platform right now. And so, and I'm talking right now, I'm being interviewed by a genius in LinkedIn marketing. And this is the same genius that helped Shane, who's one of our strategic partners, make very, very nice mid-7-figure income last year by switching end user business owners. A lot of these are real estate developers, from their unhappy CPA relationship to his relationship really in his mini virtual family office, Shane's virtual family office. So we said, wow, if you could do this, imagine what you could do for us and introduce us to all these unhappy CPAs that are losing their best clients that want to offer a better experience. So we started working with you, Paul, and you introduced us to an amazing amount of CPAs, and we're just going through and interviewing all of them and figuring out which ones are a great fit for the virtual family office hub. And when we first started having this conversation, a long time ago, really seems like a million years ago, we said, listen, what if we perfected a way to introduce unhappy business owners, not to advisors, but to a virtual family offices with best-in-class resources, and show them a better experience, show them how they can mitigate their taxes and mitigate their costs and provide all this value to someone who's not wasting time on $500 tax returns. someone who's not doing data entry, someone who's just there managing this incredible spaceship that we teach them how to drive at the VFO Academy in the best practices section of the learning process. And what if we put that out there? And I'm like, this is going to be huge, Paul. And so that's what I'm excited about, because we're using the most revolutionary marketing system to provide the most revolutionary value proposition in the financial services industry I've ever seen. And we're combining these two forces, and the results so far have been mind-blowing, even better than we expected. So bottom line is there's a lot of energy here. There's a lot of winning here. My job is to help my clients win, whether I'm coaching flag football, you see this little trophy behind me, whether I'm coaching my 7-year-old, sorry, just turned 7, or my 12-year-old on our championship flag football teams, or whether I'm coaching my CPAs or virtual family offices that are serving clients worth $1 million, $10 million, or billions of dollars. We want to win. And the way we win is when our teams win, when our VFOs and CPAs win. So we're pretty competitive, and we just like to win. And so we can't win unless our clients win. And so we need to do a better job and continue to improve our game to make sure that we're always winning. And so my relationship with you, Paul, and this LinkedIn strategy is just, it's a little bit mind-blowing for me. It's a little bit overwhelming right now, to be honest.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So switching gears a little bit, you have a very unique background in the sense that you help elite CPAs, VFOs, help high net worth, affluent business owner clients. You're married to one of these affluent, high net worth business owner clients. Can you tell me from just your perspective in terms of what are, whether it's your wife or just kind of what you know about this market, what is your personal experience with the challenges and the hopes and the aspirations that these high net worth business owner clients have?
I remember I'm the kind of client now that I used to dream of having.
Right.
When I first started out in this business, that I could never get a client like me. I was like, how do I get a client like that? I have no clue. It took me years and years of learning and experience and figuring this out. And we finally got there. But yeah, I'm married to a woman who was originally, I married her, and she eventually became a teacher, and she was making a whopping $40,000 a year with benefits. And my at the time, my aunt and my mother-in-law had bouts with cancer, and my aunt survived cancer with a macrobiotic diet. My mother-in-law got cancer, so she went through the same counseling, went on a macrobiotic diet, survived cancer, and I was eating my mother-in-law's cooking, which was cookies and pies using very strict ingredients, brown rice syrup instead of sugar, all these very strict macrobiotic ingredients, a 3,000-year-old diet. And I'm like, this is really good. So this stuff cures cancer. Let me get this straight. It cures cancer with my aunt and my mother-in-law, and it's delicious. And this was 15 years ago. I'm like, you got to sell these. You got to sell this stuff. So my wife was a teacher at the time, started calling on health food stores, and now we have a company called Go Macro. We sell macro bars. These are the cleanest, tastiest protein bars on the planet. And so I'm married to this woman who manages a company with basically 100 employees. We have a 40,000 square foot facility in Wisconsin. We have a street named after us called Go Macro Way in Wisconsin. And so, this was my idea back in the day, and there's no way I could have built this company because I can't build a manufacturing distribution company like this. I don't have that skill set, but I came up with the idea. And it's the same thing as VFO Hub. We just positioned this packaged food company to be so far ahead of the curve, so much healthier and tastier than anything else out there, that the market is still shifting toward this product. And when the VFO Hub idea hit me, it was the same thing. Let's position where these CPAs are going to go, and let's be way ahead of the market. And then the market's just going to catch up to us. And it's the same thing as Go Macro. So the success from Go Macro is really what led me to building the virtual family office hub and saying, if you just create something awesome and you just put it way ahead of where the industry is, eventually the industry is going to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's happening with Go Macro. We still have no one's really even close in terms of creating a product like that. And no one's even close in even thinking about creating a product like the VFO Hub.
Mm-hmm.
And that allows us to really have fun. See, it's not fun when your product is marginally better than the other product. Like, oh, they're doing this. I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, great. Nobody cares. Okay. Oh, so we have a lot of copycats copying us. Go Macro has a lot of copycats copying them. And that's really that's what America is. America, you have these people who come up with great ideas, and then you have a bunch of copycats copying them. And guess who really has the fun? The fun is had by the guys and gals who come up with the great ideas, who create massive value, who make an impact on the world, and who help other people. So with Go Macro, we want to make a lot of money. Let's help a lot of people not get disease and eat delicious food. That was the idea. Virtual family, yeah. So,
in just building off that, so on a deeper level, I know you talk a lot about creating space for for both CPAs and their clients, their affluent business owner clients, to create time and significance. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you mean by that?
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, CPAs aren't doing this for money. You and I, making money is fun, Paul, but we're not here just to make money. That's not fun. What's fun is making an impact. What CPAs want is for their client to say, thank you, Mary. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Bob. Thank you for doing this. When you deliver massive value to another human being and they show you their heart with appreciation, that's fun. That's a win. That's a win. And so we're champions of CPAs. We want them to have that experience. We want them to help their high net worth clients. And we don't like it when their high net worth clients like, listen, I don't need advice from you. You're just my CPA. Just get my tax return done. I get my advice from my attorney over there. We don't like that. Okay. We don't, and the CPAs don't like that. And so we want them to be more significant so they can create a more value and more time for themselves by having less clients and more revenue per client, so they can bring more value in their communities. If they help a business owner to save massive amount of taxes and costs, mm-hmm. which represents a massive time savings for that business owner, because he might, if we save them 60%, 90% tax on over a 5-year period, how much time does it take that business owner to make that kind of money after tax? Mm-hmm. Well, what if they take that 18 months of 2 years of time that CPA VFO just created and not invest it back in their business? Maybe just invest in the community and give back to the community. So now we're making an impact in communities where these leaders, these amazing affluent business or successful business owners, have more time to do things in the community. The CPAs, VFOs that are serving them, who are also leaders, have more time and resources to do things in the community. Let's make the world a better place, right? We can always make more money, mm-hmm. but we can't create more time. And so we want to create time using strategic leverage, using creative, using disruptive technology. And that's really what this is all about, because we want to create a multi-generational change where people are investing more times with their families, investing more times with the communities, because this idea of just making more and more and more money for the sake of making more money, it doesn't work. People are not happier, okay? So there's a balance out there. And so we want to help promote this balance. And we want to do it through the most trusted advisors of these affluent business owners through communities around the country. And we believe those people should be CPAs.
Fantastic. Final question. On a personal note, 2 things that I know about you is that you care a lot about winning, and I see a trophy behind you. And then also I know that you are very passionate about your faith. Can you share any thoughts on either topic?
Well, look, I'm a competitive guy. I don't know why I'm a competitive guy. I've always been competitive, but now I figured out how to channel my competitive nature and juices so that I only win when my clients and my partners and my strategic allies, when they win. And so if I'm helping other people win and I win as a result, that's really important to me. My faith, I've had a journey of over when my first son was born. I've got 4 children. And when my 12-year-old was born, really, I've been on a 12-year journey because I realized back then I thought money, I grew up learning that, money, success, and intelligence and all these things were really, really important. And I had this epiphany when my son was born that, if I made $2 billion, which was kind of the number I had in mind, I'm like, if I pictured myself with all this money and all these other things that I already had at the time, I realized I was not really going to be happy. And I thought maybe I would. And so I had this epiphany and I said, well, if I'm not going to be happy with money and all these other things that I've got, I'm married to a beautiful girl, we're healthy, all these things, I've got a beautiful baby. I'm like, what will really make me happy? And I realized I really needed a spiritual connection. And so I've been on a spiritual journey for 12 years, and I've studied every religion out there to try to figure out what is the truth. And so in that process, I've analyzed every religion, and I've found, what's really truth for me. And I found a deep relationship with God. And I believe there's one God, one true God, one living God. I have a connection with that God. And that really drives me. And I'm here just to bring people to God and do God's work. And that means I need to be a good husband. I need to be a good father. I need to be a good partner. I need to provide value in the world. And that really grounds me. And it keeps me focused because I found that people that don't have that deep relationship, when, that ultimately we worship something. And I don't want to worship money. I don't want to worship idols. I don't want to worship success or intelligence or anything like that, because I've tried that and it doesn't work. I've tried a lot of things. I learned the hard way, Paul. I want to, I keep going and I go in various directions until it hit a wall. And then I say, that's not right. I'm going to go in a different direction. So I've tried a lot of different stuff. But yeah, having that relationship with the one living God, it has really changed my life.
That's awesome. Is there anything else that you would like our audience to know? Any question that I haven't asked that you think would be important to share?
I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun getting interviewed by you, Paul. Look, at the end of the day, what makes us strong is the fact that we continue to find amazing people. We continue to attract amazing resources like you, Paul. You're an amazing partner for our team. We are constantly attracting VFO Hub members. I mean, we just attracted a gentleman who helped Sandy Weil acquire Primerica, who was one of the key CPAs inside the WebMD IPO. He is now a member of the Virtual Family Office Hub. And we're working on some really, really exciting projects because he's involved with some very, very ultra high net worth people who are doing some ultra high net worth things that need best in class resources to do those things most efficiently. So and when we add a member like that, guess what? He becomes a client, a member of the VFO Hub, but he's also a resource. So every time we take on an amazing CPA firm, maybe these CPA firms, some of these CPA firms yesterday, I met with a group from downtown San Diego. They specialize in areas of international tax. Well, I know my other CPAs need more resources in international tax planning. And so every time we add a new member, we're potentially adding a new resource to the VFO family. So we get together once a month, second Tuesday of every month, for at least an hour. And as a community, our specialists, our members, we're moving forward together. We're learning from each other. I'm learning, maybe more from our members and specialists than they're learning from me. But we're doing this together. We don't really have anyone to look to learn from because we're the tip of the spear. We're the tip of the spear. So there's no one for us to go to and say, hey, how are you doing this? We bring them in and say, let's do this together. And then let's find out, hey, what's going on here? What's going on here? So really, it's very humbling to be a part of this community and do this together. So I'm just a humble servant. I'm here to lift people up to a level where they can't really operate without us. And I want them to win. And when they win, we win. And that seems to work. That seems to work historically, really. Over the last thousands of years, if you have that kind of mindset, that historically has been a winning mindset, and we're just going to use what works historically.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Alex. This has been a pleasure. I always personally have a lot of fun and enjoy our conversations, and I'm so glad that we have a chance to record this and just share your brilliance with my community, and especially any CPA that's watching this. I mean, if you have not had a chance to talk to Alex, you definitely need to do that, because he is the real deal. He is the real deal. He is growing a group of very elite level CPAs that are having fun. They're winning. They're serving their clients. They're growing their revenue. They're having more impact. And so you owe it to yourself to have a conversation with Alex. All right. So with that being said, bye for now, and we'll see you next time.
Paul, very nice words. Thank you, sir. I'm very humbled by those words, and I'm very proud and excited to have you part of our community.